Hey, what's up guys, it's E, back with another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Marvel Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Iron Man Series number 13 figure. Now, real quickly before we get into the figure, if you hear an echo, I do apologize. I'm in my new place, and it's still kind of empty. Still got figures and boxes and all that. Those of you that have been following my past couple reviews may know that I moved, so if you hear an echo, I do apologize, but it's what I can do for now. This is actually my first review in the new house, so yeah, Iron Man it is. Anyways, here it is. There's the front of the box. It looks pretty cool. I haven't bought Revoltech in a long time. I'm not into Revoltech at all. I'm not a big fan, but I am a big fan of Iron Man, so I'm going to give this one a shot. On the side of the box, we have some nice artwork, some nice lettering there. On the other side of the box, we have another nice photo of Iron Man, and in the backside, once again, it's almost like a comic book. We get a look at some other poses that the figure can do, Japanese lettering, and a list of the option parts it comes with. And those of you that may be interested in this figure, check out the link down below where you guys can actually order your own from BigBadToyStore.com. So this is the Bleeding Edge armor, to be exact, by Kaiyodo, Revoltech, and like I mentioned before, I haven't purchased a Revoltech in a while. This has a unique look for sure, and I know that their figures are very unique and very different. They've been doing Marvel comic figures for a little bit now. I passed up on all of them, I know, but this looks good. It's very different though. The look of it's very different. It's still a very nice look. With this Iron Man armor being the nanotech type armor, almost like the one that we saw in Endgame. You know, you can pretty much do whatever you want with this thing, and once we get into the accessories of this thing, which it comes with so much accessories, it's almost overwhelming. You'll see where, you know, what you can do. I mean, the playability, the options, the configurations in this thing is off the chain. There's so many ports and holes, as you can probably see. A big hole in the back. There's a hole in the forearms, there's a hole in the shoulders, on the side of the calves or the legs. There's a hole there too. There's ports and holes all over the place where you can peg in whatever you want, pretty much. So before we get into him, we'll take a look at the accessories, and let's see, where do I start? I don't know the name of, I guess, every piece. I'm just gonna show it to you guys. So we get two of these long pieces here, which again you can port in wherever you want. The picture actually shows it. Doesn't show it anywhere, to be honest. The instruction little piece of paper shows it going onto the shoulder hole. So you can peg it in there, but like I said, you can peg it in anywhere you want. We get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these smaller pieces here. Here you can attach little effect pieces, which he does come with, which I'll show you. So in 8 of these, and then we get larger pieces, which is a total of 4. And again, there's no right or wrong area where you can peg any of these in. You can pretty much put them anywhere you want. There's also 2 little peg holes on each side here, and there's one right there. Again, plugging in effects as you wish. So a total of 4 of those. And I guess since we're talking about those effects that you can peg in, let's show it to you guys. We get a total of 6 of these. So the same size, the same color, and the same effect design. Here is what we were talking about. So this can peg in there if you want. You can put it down here if you want. As you see, wherever you want, you can configure and play with your toy pretty much. So a total of 6 of those effects. Then we get a total of 4 of these here, which are just little ports, more extra ports, you know, and you may ask, where are you going to plug this in? There's nothing to peg it into, and luckily for us, Revoltech or Kaiyodo gave us a bunch of pegs. So, I mean, they're not playing around here. Not only do we get a base and a stand, we get a bunch of pegs, which again, no right or wrong areas where to put them. Put them anywhere you want. Any peg hole you see on the figure, you can put it in there, or you can use one of them to peg this on the figure, and then you get an extra 4 ports right there. You can just hook this guy up with everything that he comes supplied with. And again, we have a total of 4 of these extra ports here. So this is where this crazy effect comes into play. As you may have seen in some of the promo pics, we get these rocket launching effects. Very nice. A total of 6, so you can have him launching all 6 of these rockets. And so real quickly, there you go. Without any extra pieces, you can just straight up put it on the figure and have him launching a homing missile. I assume this is like a homing missile, seeing that it makes a sharp turn right there. But nonetheless, it makes for some really cool Iron Man displays, because again, this is bleeding edge, this is nanotech stuff. He can make anything out of anywhere, as we kind of saw it in Endgame and Infinity War, where he just made a shield, he made a rocket out of just wherever he wanted to on the suit. So it makes sense. Alright, carrying on with the effect pieces, we get these laser effects, which I love these a lot. And you can have him with almost like lightsabers or a laser or anything you want to have him pose with. But these effects look nice, very Iron Man-like, very cool that they included those there. We get a tool as well to pull out those pegs. Actually pegging in that rocket effect was actually pretty difficult, seeing that there is a spiky area to this effect, and it's, you know, it gets a little thin on the plastic, so you don't want to snap it either. So it takes a little bit of force to peg it into the figure, so always be careful. But when you want to peg it out, you don't want to break it, you get a little tool there. And now going to the hands, we get the pair of fists on the figure itself. And now we get a pair of hands here. They look like fists as well, but they get pegs, more ports, more pegs, whatever you want, put it there. Again, this could be anything. It could be the laser effect, the blue effects, just like that. Pegs in perfect. If you want that there, go ahead. If you want to peg in something else, again, this is nanotech stuff. Whatever. This comes out his fist, I guess. Carrying on here, we have a pair of open hands again with more peg holes. There's a pair of wide open hands again with peg holes inside. So checking out Iron Man up close, we get some nice colors here. I like the metallic red, gold, they got that correct. That looks good for sure. The lights, I like how they painted the blue all over. Very good. So there's a good look at him. Again, there's a closer look at the holes, the pegs all over the body. One thing that really caught my attention here is, yes, I don't collect Revoltech much, but I do own 2 Iron Man Revoltechs, and they do have clicky joints, so I always knew them for their clicky joints. This figure does not have clicky joints, so I don't know if it's because I've been out of the Revoltech game for a while now, and they changed it a while ago and I just never realized, or maybe they just changed it now with this one. Who knows? Maybe you guys can let me know. Let me know down below. But no clicky joints anymore, which is pretty crazy. And that doesn't take away from its insane articulation. It still articulates like crazy, like Revoltech normally did. I actually did not like the clicky joints too much. I felt like you could never get that in-between pose. It's either the leg or the knee will bend here or it will bend here. Never in between, because the click would go from here to here, and it's like, no, I want it in the middle, and then you can't because the click forces it to go the other way. I don't know if that makes sense, but hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to explain there. As for the articulations, when we're on that topic, it's pretty crazy. Nonetheless, the head will still swivel left and right. It does look up a lot, and then it looks down quite a bit. We get an extra neck joint. You can kind of see a big gap there, which they always do this insane articulation. So you can look down, you can look up, tilt the head, do some crazy stuff. It gets a little weird at times. The arms will go forward, and let's go back just a little bit. Goes forward and back. You can see the joint here and how they're doing that. We get a bicep swivel. As for the shoulder joint, you can see this whole piece here moving along with it. Insane, but it gets the job done like a butterfly joint. We have a elbow that hinges, swivels. There is a wrist swivel and a hinge. As for the torso, we get a diaphragm joint at the top. Goes forward and back very deep. And then we get another joint at the waist. So a lot of range of movement for the torso area. You can tilt him wherever you wish. I mean, very flexible. The legs will kick forward, and you saw how that kind of dropped down. So I guess that's a con too. If they're not tight, then I guess the clicky joints come into play there. But as you see, it kind of moves down, doesn't hold the pose with the kick up. In and out goes about this craziness here. And we get the thigh joints kind of going at an angle there, I noticed. So, very weird. I do want to point out that my left leg is stiff and does hold the pose up. So maybe it's just my figure's right leg is a little loose. The knee joints is pretty weird. You can see that the cut right here. And it's very odd that we see this type of articulation. But I guess it gets the job done here. And it still bends like a double jointed knee. There is a swivel down at the shin, and you can kind of bend it too. Even though the knee doesn't bend like that, you can still swivel and bend it. The ankle will hinge forward and back. We'll get a pivot. There's a toe hinge as well, swivel, and all that jazz. Alright, so I did manage to find some Iron Man figures within my boxes. I did pull out the Revoltech ones I do have. I don't remember the mark number on this guy. 27, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these do have those iconic clicky joints there. There's that one, and then I do have the Mark 1, which is by far probably one of the nicest Mark 1 Iron Man figures out there. So far, it's still the best one until Bandai Tamashii maybe beats it. I don't know if they can beat this one in terms of detail and look. This looks fantastic, still holds up after all these years. But just a comparison next to some other Iron Man Revoltechs. Here he is. Alright, and next to a Marvel Legend. This is just based off the movie. I think this is Civil War. Of course, Legends always tend to scale taller, and his knees are bent. Legs are a little spread open. He's still taller than the Revoltech version. No surprise there. Bringing in the Mezco 112 Collective. A classic Iron Man here. And now this one gives the Legends one a run for its money in terms of height. He is taller than both Revoltech and the Marvel Legend version. Next to a Marvel Legend Ares and a Marvel Legend Hawkeye, just because they're here. If Hawkeye will barely stand, but there you go. So someone's gonna ask, why is Iron Man shooting 6 rockets out of his suit, wielding 2 lasers out his arms? And you're just gonna say, why not? You know, because he is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a dope figure just for the fact that you can just do whatever you want with it. I mean, so much other figures are so limited to what you can do. It's your standard, plug in your repulsor blast on his palm and that's it, or whatnot. But this one, you could just do a lot of things with it. Alright, before I ramble on too long, I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, have a great day. Bye.